Hello YouTube, Isabelle here for your monthly energetic tarot astro update. This is a new series that we're starting and I wanted to give you guys a couple different tools. These are tools that I take my clients through, but I wanted to do regular updates and energetic updates for you guys too. So if you're feeling a little bit off or things are going really well, using these tools or keeping them top of mind as you're moving through the month and through the days as you're connecting with that. So with that said, I'm using the spells deck by Cabral. You can see that there. And I've taken 8 different cards and 2 tarot cards out for you guys to support you. So the first card that I have moving into October as a tool for when you're looking towards your finances and your abundance financially, but also internally, spiritually, physically, mentally. We have here the Scales of Justice. And with the Scales of Justice, it's really keeping in mind decision-making, legal matters, or when situations require balancing. On a Thursday or Saturday, finding a spot outdoors, drawing the Scales of Justice into the earth with your hand, or taking some time and doodling, or just keeping this image of the scales in your mind. Writing a list of pros and cons underneath the scale, walk in a circle 3 times around the scale, or imagine in your mind's eye walking around the scales, casting a circle, if you will, while burning any of the following herbs: cinquefoil, oak, witch hazel, skullcap, and invoke some of that Lady Justice energy. Just a quote to keep with you for this Scales of Justice energy and pros and cons energy: with your blindfold and sword of truth, let justice prevail with a fair outcome for your name or the situation. So just keeping that quote in mind as you're invoking Lady Justice. If you're trying to make a big decision this month, or you're at a crossroads with a couple things, like putting it all out on the table. And swords in tarot, of course, have to do with the element of air. That has to do with concepts and ideas. So you may be thinking of different concepts and ideas at this time. Now, moving into the self-care and invocations, we have Brigid. And this also has to do with igniting and creativity. So with Brigid, using incense during this time. Brigid is the Celtic goddess of sacred wells, weaving, metalwork, poetry, healing arts, and crafts, whose flame is eternal. So keeping in mind Brigid as you're making these decisions this month, to connect with this energy of what is it that makes your work, your presence in the world sacred, connecting with that. Then moving into Mugwort, an herb that will be supportive for you this month. Mugwort is a fantastic herb. The Latin name is Artemisia vulgaris. It's an herb used for spells of divination, magic, protection. It's also used in Chinese medicine to do moxibustion, whether it's detoxing or releasing extra heat. During bonfire rituals on midsummer, mugwort is a traditional herb thrown into the flames for divination and cleansing. So as you're making all these decisions, you're weighing your options, you're connecting with what is it that is sacred to you. If you have mugwort around and you'd like to burn a little bit of mugwort to make this an actual practical ritual for you this month, getting a little bit of mugwort, burning it up. There's incense that there's also available, or just taking in an oil or anointing yourself with some mugwort oil is really going to be great to protect you as you do say yes to this decision, to moving forward. And if we're going to be using any familiars, or if you connect more with animalistic kind of primal energy, the Falcon for the month of October is the familiar that we will be using. It's a mystic bird of communication, revered as a symbol of power. So swords we have, and then also Falcon, a lot of Mercury energy, communication. So right as we tip the scales of justice, connect with the flames, what is sacred for you. Use your Mugwort to anoint yourself as you're moving forward into the month for protection. Really being clear and connecting with this energy of the Falcon as you're moving forward into the month, to be really clear and concise in your communication as much as possible. In Egyptian mythology, the god Horus was the ruler of the sky, was often depicted as a falcon. The falcon represents a moment to people watch and practice active listening skills. On a Wednesday, which Wednesday is associated with Mercury and Mercury with communication, have some time to go bird watching at a local park. Watch and listen for birds and humans alike. When the falcon appears, messages are to be given or received, so stay alert and recognize when to speak and when to listen, for there is a delicate balance. Again, the balance, those scales. Effective communication and the timing of it is Mercury and falcon magic at its best. So, divine timings for things, do more listening, active listening, looking at the energetic communication things as well this month of October, which makes a lot of sense because October is a month where the veil is thin between the two worlds, so you may be getting some more visitations than usual of different energies. If you're more sensitive to things, it's very, very normal. Use the tools, use your tools, and of course, if you're ever needing a one-on-one or you would like to join the Urban Mystics community where we practice more of these tools, feel free, check out the links below. Now, moving in with, you've got the communication down, you've made the decision, you're moving forward on things. The next tool, or the next energy to invoke, is Gaia. So with Gaia, one of the Greek primordial deities and the embodiment of Mother Earth, make this grounding foot scrub whenever you feel disconnected from the earth or plagued by anxiety. Allow Gaia to absorb your troubles, toxins, and energetic baggage. So I love to do foot scrubs in the evening when I can. Take a little bit of Epsom salt. I'll take a little bit of jojoba oil, and if we want to get technical, do like 3 tablespoons of sea salt and then 6 tablespoons of jojoba oil, because you want to keep things moisturized too, and jojoba is a really nice, solid oil that the molecular structure of it is just enough that it absorbs very quickly into the body. And as we go into the winter months, it's really good to stay moisturized and to stay hydrated. Both drinking enough water, taking in your herbs, taking in your oils, but also for the body as well. You know, a lot of people around this time, we get eczema flare-ups from stress, but also the dryness and especially if you're in the Midwest or northern hemisphere dealing with winter coming. So keep this in mind as you're moving forward, you're communicating, you're listening, embodying and releasing. At the end of the day, really making it a practice to release anything from the day. Acknowledge the day. If it was good or bad, take with it what you will and release anything that is no longer serving you. Doing this as a regular practice is going to really support you in the month of October. So that's that Gaia energy, so keep that in mind. And if you're going to be using any tools this month, just physical tools, whether it's, you know, ritual or putting things in your space to keep you mindful, the tool that comes up is the candle. Which is a fantastic one. I am burning 3 right now, actually. With the shape-shifting powers of wax, candles represent the element of fire and also faith, transformation, and inspiration. So you've gone through a very pragmatic energy, a very, actually, like, legit, smooth energy. The candle is synonymous with magic. Synonymous with sacredness. When you walk into an old church, you'll find candles all over. If you're a solitary practitioner and you meditate, or you're going to a yoga class, or you're engaging in any type of embodied spirituality, you will find that candles are there. They're accessible and easy to use. To ignite the flames of magic, all you need is a small white candle, a clear intention, and a symbol that represents it. Get yourself a little candle, or if you have a candle, and just make sure that that candle is imbued with your intention for this month. Or if you had an intention that you set during the full moon or the new moon, or something that you really want to manifest this month, invoke it inside that candle. Put that intention on that candle, so every time you light it, know that it's expanding outward and it's igniting you forward. You can also carve a magical symbol into the candle. For love, you draw the heart or a symbol of Venus. For example, if you're wanting to attract a partner or partners, dress the candle with olive oil or any oils or herbs that correspond to your intention. Visualize your goals and raise energy by chanting or staying internally embodied, acting as if being and embodying that this is already manifested, it's already done. Dancing or moving around, moving your body, allowing that energy to kind of take over your internal space is really good. When you feel a peak of inspiration as you engage in this ritual with candle, light the candle and call out to the universe, so mote it be. Or if that is not what feels called to you right now, you can just say, and so it is already done, gratitude, and thank you. Well, that's a simple way, a simple physical reminder that you can have in your space that you're setting yourself up for success, you're setting yourself up to manifest what it is that you're wanting. And of course, with everything, knowing that what you put in, you attract 3 times back, so make sure that you're doing mindful things and you're attracting mindful things, right? Now, the element for this month, which feels very fitting, of course, that has come up, is air. And I love all the elements, but air is one of my favorite ones because I'm a Sagittarius with the Leo moon and Cancer rising, but the Sagittarius sun in me is always wanting to play with ideas, even though it's a fire sign. So air is concepts, ideas, philosophies, visionary thinking. An invocation for air to be used when calling in the elements during a circle or invoking the clarity and freshness of air. So if you've been feeling like things have just kind of been stuck or the air is dull, right, metaphorically, facing the north direction, if you're wanting to invoke more air, more clarity, if you're doing your scales exercise and you're just saying like, is this good, is this bad, check in with yourself. And to invoke air, if you want to make a ritual of this, is facing the north direction of your circle. Use a compass for assistance, right? I know for me in Chicago, I always know that Lake Michigan is my east. So from there, I'm like, okay, that's east, north Wisconsin. So holding up your athame, your wand, your body, making a ritual of this, making it really sacred. You can recite the following to bring in the energy and the element of air. Marry me east, element of air. We invite your winds into our circle and ask for your force and clarity in our rites. So mote it be. And when closing a circle, when this feels like it's a completion and you feel that you've received this energy of air, to close it, marry part east. We thank you for guiding, teaching, and illuminating our rites. So bringing in a little extra air, a little bit more clarity, using this tool, using this energetic imprint to support you in this month. So use your air, use it wisely. And the final, before we go into the tarot, is in regards to relationships, love, more of the romantic notions of things. We have the card of Vesta. And with Vesta, they're representing the Vestal virgins of ancient Rome that were tending a sacred hearth, taking vows of chastity in honor of Vesta, the goddess of fertility, eternal flames, and protection. If you've noticed that self-destructive patterns and heartbreak are keeping you in a cycle of attracting the same negative energies, so you keep seeing these patterns within relationships, friendships, intimate relationships, commune with Vesta. So do a little bit of research on Vesta. They're the Vestal Virgins of ancient Rome. I can go all into that, into a whole video, but just a quick, energetic understanding of them. Taking a little bit of a vow of chastity, or taking a vow of taking care of yourself right now before the right person comes in, right? Like really putting your things in order first before somebody else comes into the picture is really important. Because she was the goddess of fertility, eternal flames, and protection. So this is a time right now of you protecting yourself, conserving your energies, because there are eternal flames there. There's passion that wants to be there, but these negative and destructive patterns may have not been as supportive for you. Cut ties from past lovers who have left significant wounds. Just let them go. Do a releasing. Use this time, if you're watching this YouTube video right now, just do a silent little, they're released, they are gone, they are no longer in my life. Put a white cloth and flowers on your altar if you have one, or your sacred space. You can carve Vesta's symbol, which, here's a little bit of a close-up of that, is the symbol of Vesta. And you can carve those in a little white candle to be lit every evening, right? If love and relationships are really more of your focus right now, just take some time. You can do this little sigil within your candle, the symbol in the candle. You can move forward with this. You can look at the flames and ask Vesta's assistance with revealing your truest desires and healing your wounds. You can write any revelations in your journal, or if you have a book of shadows, you can do that. And use this time for restoration and purification. Emerge from your Vestal temple feeling renewed. So take that to heart. If you are in an awesome relationship right now and things are going well, it could also just be for this October that you're taking extra time to take care of yourself and to really cultivate your own inner energies right now, inner flames, getting even clearer on what is it that you'd love as you grow in this relationship. So that's Vesta and your relationship. So those are the tools of October, the things to look out for, the energies of this month. And now moving into the tarot for this month, I want to let you guys know that major arcana card that came up was the Sun, and I use, let me let you guys know if you're curious, the A.A. Atanasov Golden Tarot of the Tsar. So that's the deck that I use, because it has a lot of the same iconography and visuals and the Christian Orthodox saints that I grew up with every time I'd go to Romania, or when we'd go on retreat in Romania with students and clients. I would always come back with a new icon that was for sacred practice, or I would keep in my wallet for safety. So the Sun is the card for October. Fantastic major arcana sign. So as we were talking about with the scales of justice, this is perfect timing, and listening in also to your sun sign right now, saying what is it that they want? What is the sun sign that you have moving forward wanting to manifest? So the sun is really taking precedent right now. It's shining light on the things that you really desire, the things that you're moving forward with, and the things that are really going to be making you happy and moving you into a new chapter of your life. I can definitely say that that's happening for me as we're doing new things, right? And then the second minor arcana card that came up during the reading was actually, and it makes a lot of sense, it always does because they always know, is the Four of Wands. So Four of Wands, I always think of fours as structures, foundations as you're building forward. Four is the square, of course. I always think of foundations of a house And with wands being fire elements, that means ignition and action and sustained momentum. 4 isn't a number of chaos. 4 is a number of calm, building, sustained, a lot of like earthy kind of energy. So despite the 4 being an earthy energy within a fire sign, I think it's not a manic side of like, oh, I'm making this dramatic, chaotic decision. I'm actually moving forward in a space that feels really good and really sustainable, and it's more true to me than it has been in the past. So check in with your sun sign. Make those decisions this month. Know that you're fully supported, you're fully safe. Release anything that you really need to release this month. And I look forward to doing November's energetic report soon. If you have more questions on tools that I talked about, or if there's anything that you're uncertain about, or this is something new to you but you're really wanting to make this a regular practice, head over to isabellerizo.com. I have a couple e-courses you can check out there. Reach out if you're in Chicago. Every Wednesday night I teach Exploring Tarot at Inner Sense Healing Arts, and if you are interested in diving a bit more deep within your own subconscious, your own collective unconscious, or generational stuff that's happening, head over to artofbalancechai.com, where we can do hypnosis together and learn even about self-care and self-hypnosis. So you can just move through the things that you really want to move through, get to the place where you really want to get to at a faster pace, at a place where you know you're here for something greater, you know that you want to move into a new direction, and you're just needing a little bit more space to figure it out. I'm here to support you. I'm looking forward to seeing what manifests for you, and let me know in the comments below any questions, any ideas, anything that has manifested, unfolded, or needs to be released, and I will see you guys next month.